Hey, Thomson, you want to do a show?
Screw it. Why not?
So, have you seen Madshow? Have you ever seen Madshow? Do you know about Madshow? You seen Madshow? Have you seen Madshow? Have you seen Madshow? You know the Madshow? You were saying that Stevie Wonder, you were amazed that Stevie Wonder can paint such pictures with his words and his lyrics, and I was saying that that's because he can see the parts that matter, and everybody else sees all the parts that don't. And that historically, the idea of blind people having a special vision to see truth is why, for example, justice is portrayed as being blind. And frequently, like, judges in the Far East also frequently would operate from behind screens, so they couldn't look and see who was delivering the data. There's an ancient and universal traditional fear of the corruption and bias that comes with visual organizations. Like, the way people look should not be used to decide, well, anything about them. So in Nigeria, and I know this because, one year, a good Nigerian friend who ran an import-export store here asked me to, invited us to march with his contingent of Nigerians in the Carnival parade here in San Francisco. And I was incredibly honored and super flattered. And when I showed up on the day, he kitted me out with a costume of a big robe, and I had this talking stick, this big staff that was, I think, 400 years old. And then he gave me this, it's called a lawbringer's head, like helmet. It's like a big hat. It's about this tall, and it's made out of wicker, and it's covered in puka shells. The one I wore is 600 years old, and it sits down on your shoulders, so your head is completely covered. You can only, like, look down to see where you're walking, and that's it. You can't see anything. So there again, the idea that justice can only come from blindness. So what do you think about that, as someone who wears glasses?
Okay. I'm not.
Are you more just or less just?
With or without the glasses?
Does your impairment enhance your ethics, or does it compromise them?
Okay, don't act like you don't wear reading glasses when we're at home.
That's once in a while, but I wear these all the time, and everybody wears something. Do you think it makes you any more fair or less fair?
Blindness may make you more fair, but I don't think, like, blurry vision makes you more fair.
Yeah,
I don't think that's really the way that works.
Just lash out. Ah, it's coming right at me!
The only way to make everything fair in life is for no one to have any depth perception at all.
If your eye offends you, cut it out. I don't know. I know I love Stevie Wonder, and I know I've seen him, and he speaks truth in a way that is almost unparalleled in my experience. I saw him at Outside Lands, and he spoke and said things that I have believed my whole life, but never believed from anyone else. And I believed every single word he said was straight out of his soul and out of his heart. And he's an incredible, unrivaled presence.
It's
just
also,
amazing.
honestly, like, considering how good his studio production is, it's surprising that he hit that hard as a live performer.
Oh no, he starts as a live performer. He starts as a little wonder kid in the streets of Detroit, banging on trash cans and stuff and playing. He's just a prodigy. He plays the harmonica, plays the drums, he's just incredible. He just do anything.
Because typically, if an artist has a really good studio production, it almost always means they're worse live. Like Beatles, incredible studio band, but like their live shows don't even compete.
How do you know? Have you ever seen one?
Well, Get Back is a live show. Get Back was done entirely live, or Let It Be if you're in America. And yeah, it's not very good. And
That's the end of them, though. That's when they're done. That's not in their Hamburg days when they were blowing up the spot.
Well, no, because
they start as a live band. Everybody starts as a live band.
Well, yeah, but whether you're good as one or not is kind of a different story. You know, Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, Billy Corrigan.
Neighbor's noise.
So I guess I'll go first since I won last time.
No, you didn't.
Well, there's no proof otherwise. I say I did.
Yeah, but we both know you didn't.
Well, you say that. That's just like your opinion, man.
I don't think they care about the honey bun, but if you want. Okay.
Send a check. Hostess.
Your turn. We're playing Magic, not showing off junk food.
Computer says no.
That's fun.
Yeah, I know.
He sucks because if you direct damage him, he just gets bigger. So you have to. Oh, hello. Are you done? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. We're gonna play Shrivel, which gives all creatures -1/-1 until end of turn. So he dies, and mine dies but comes back bigger. And you're gonna take 2. All of this while I'm stuck on 2 mana, by the way. Just like to point that out. Cut. Ugh, terrible. I knew it was coming, but I still didn't quite expect it. Holy fuck, can we get a creature? Perchance. Your turn. Why did I say can we get a creature? I meant can we get a land? Don't do it.
4/4.
Oh. Nice. Third land. Thank God. Doesn't actually help me that much, but I'm still glad I have it. You can't beat the 4/4, but I got a creature, and that's something. Your turn. This upkeeps too. We're just putting a little counter on the sorcery to show that it's a 4/4. Like, we could just leave it as a token, but it's easier this way. And yeah, there's like the stuff where, okay, if it was in the graveyard and you wanted to fish it out, but like, cross that bridge when you come to it. Really, bro? Okay. Okay.
4/4 attacking.
I'll take it.
Hope you drew a land there, buddy.
I didn't, but I got this cut down, which just kills that. And you'll also take 4. Crazy, there's a basketball game going on right next door, huh? Oh, God.
4 points.
Cheerized. Yeah, this game is probably lost for me. I didn't get enough mana. I mean, there's one, but it's kind of a case of a too little, a too late. And then you're just gonna fucking direct.
Well, come on, big shooter.
You're gonna direct damage all my creatures next turn if you can. So the ideal is to get as much damage out as possible. So tap 3, cobbled wings, put it on the cutthroat, 3 in the air. That's the best I can do. Take your damage. What are you waiting for?
3 in the air is awkward. I don't like it. It's not friendly.
Dude, you can pay to kill both of these next turn. And then hit me for 8.
He's a 2?
Yeah. He's a dead. And he's a dead too.
There's 2. He's dead.
And then you can pay 1 to kill him. And then you...
He's dead.
Also, the wings don't go away. Relax.
And there's 1 point direct to you, plus 8 more, so 9 points total.
Yeah, I'm at 3. And this is game over.
I'm sure you'll just destroy all my creatures with your powerful creature destruction.
I could play this, and I would kill one of them if they came over, but you could just ping it and then hit me, and I'm dead.
Well, we'll see. What will I do? What will happen next?
It's not a mystery.
Let's find out. It's a mystery.
Yeah, that's
There's
dead.
2 points.
And then you hit me for 8.
And actually, you take 3 from Valakut.
Which kills me. I was at 3.
4, 5.
You don't need to pay anymore. You killed me with
plus
Valakut.
8.
You killed me with Valakut.
13 points to you. Extra short food section this week. Because it was so good, we actually forgot to take any pictures of it. We just ate it all. Parada 22, Haight Street. Super, super good Puerto Rican food. Oh, so good. Thompson wants to talk about religion.
Don't worry, we won't be getting very controversial. I was,
No, this is mostly as it relates to antiquity
yeah,
in the
because
Mediterranean basin.
Until, if you ignore Akhenaten, that weird phase that Egypt goes through for a few dozen years that's very short-lived, it doesn't have a major impact on history, really, mostly at all. There aren't really any monotheistic religions until Judaism. So from, I guess it'd be like 600 BC, pretty much from that point backward, it's all pantheism. And one of the things that I
And a long time forward. And it's hard to say if it had any impact because all the history was erased by the people who overthrew Akhenaten.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what effect it had.
But what I was just thinking about is the interesting ways in which these different monotheistic religions interact with each other. Like when, what's his name? The first Greek historian, Herodotus. When Herodotus goes down to Egypt and learns about their gods, he just kind of assumes that they're either his gods with different names or just different gods that are part of his pantheon.
Right.
And that seems to be a general Greek attitude.
Well, yeah, Herodotus said straight up, you know, because he knew the Egyptian gods were way older than his, and so he went down there and he went, oh, wait, all right, so that's what you call Zeus, and that's what you call Apollo, and that's what you call Athena, and it all basically added up. And Herodotus wrote off that all of the gods of Greece actually they got from the Egyptians. So he said that.
Which,
at the time,
in a weird way,
which
kind of
is
makes sense.
400 BC.
But then there are other pantheist religions like Rome's religion, which of course a lot of their gods were borrowed from the Greeks. When they encountered, new region with new gods, they just assumed that the gods in that region only had control over that region. So they appeased the gods in relation to the area that they controlled, and then went on with their business. And I just think it's kind of interesting the way different religions, despite all having multiple gods, thought of each other's gods and what other gods existing could mean to their pantheon.
Yeah, and then you run into like Hinduism, which the Greeks run into in around 300 when Alexander goes over there and brings to them. He brings the gift of Plato and Aristotle to India and changes forever that whole part of the world. But he also takes back exposure to Hinduism, or early Hinduism, which it doesn't even have a name yet, I don't think.
So what did he think?
It's basically the Vedas, the Rig Veda, and there's some other things.
So what do you think of Hinduism?
I don't know.
I know-
The Greek attitude was always like, you got your thing, we got ours.
I know.
So he never really, he didn't get hung up on that stuff.
I know Alexander liked to
He's not a-
insert himself
he's not a Muslim
into
or a-
existing structures, like how he made himself like the king of Persia and the pharaoh of Egypt, etc.
Right,
Like he
that's-
wouldn't
that's
give
the
himself
smart-
a new title; he just insert himself in the position the last guy.
That's the smart play. Why would you conquer it if you wanted to destroy it? And he didn't want to destroy anything. He wanted to make Greece better. He didn't want to make Egypt worse. He didn't want to. He actually envied the Persians quite a bit. But regardless, we're talking about one guy, and that's not quite big enough. But it is something to think about, isn't it? How do you get along with somebody if you don't believe what they believe, and you don't even share the same really the same world? Because they live in a world with 10 gods, and you only have 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. So you just kill them all? Because you could in antiquity, but they didn't. So why not? Why can't we be as good as the pantheists were, even when they were killing each other?
Dude, what? Where'd all
Shut
this
the door.
media come from?
It's the AI. The AI gave it to the AI got it for me.
What do you mean the AI got it?
Yeah, I did the chat GP. I did the thing there with the AI. I said I want a bunch of media for free, and voila, AI. It's nice, huh? I got like everything I want.
Whatever. It's a fluke.
You going out?
Uh-huh.
Give me some bean and coke.
I can't. I'm not old enough.
Oh, you're not 21 yet?
No.
Oh, whoops.
Hey, get your stupid AI to do it.
Oh, yeah. I'll talk to the chat G's in the P's, PG and E, the chat PG and E's.
Yeah, sure. That'll work. Alright, I'm back. Oh my god!
Chat GP's in me! Woo! AI, baby!
I was gone for 15 minutes!
AI is a miracle.
Are you on Tinder?
Oh, no. I'm talking to the AI. I was talking to the AI because, I was lonely, and so the AI got me some therapists.
You mean friends?
I'm going to get some help. Special therapist, Fred. Wait. Sheila? Keanu? Good? I gotta go.
Oh my god. Fucking AI.
Okay, so we don't do topical stuff because we like to be evergreen, at least so far. But then again, we have no viewers, so we don't care. So let's do some topical. Today, for example, on this day in history, which is, as of this filming date,
It's like April 5th, April 6th.
Saturday, April 5th, 2025. Let's see. So the U.S. Twitler launched a tariff trade war against the entire world, including an uninhabited island full of penguins. They get taxed 10% on all their goods they export to us.
Greenland isn't uninhabited.
No, the Herd Islands.
Oh.
Basically, they had Chat GPT-1, the old stupid grandpa of AIs, draw up their tariff list based on data from, I don't know, the AI, and they just expected it to be right, and they made fools of themselves and completely alienated everybody. Knocked like $20 trillion of value off of the stock. Anyways, things are bad on that front, like catastrophe. But also, what else happened today? A ton of people, like every city in the country. I don't even know how many exactly. 175, 180 cities, towns, all had a unified like day of protest to say, hell no, stop pushing us off a cliff, you Nazi bastards. Or fascists, or Taliban, depending on what part of the country you're in. It'll be a different bunch of maniacs. And I don't know if it did any good, or if it's doing any good, I don't know. But that's the thing that happened today. And last night, Alex Ovechkin tied Wayne Gretzky's .894 goal record, but he did it in one fewer game. Same number of goals, but one fewer game played. So if he breaks it next game, and it's going to be pretty hard to stop him from probably going to be pretty hard to get him to come off the ice at all until he scores. He's just going to be like, I will just play 40 minutes tonight. It's just like, we don't replace Alex. He just falls asleep every 20 minutes for 15 minutes and he's back on the ice. Because he is third in hits right now, all time, which is crazy. Anyways, that's our topicality bit. Was there anything else that happened today worth mentioning? Probably not, huh? Pretty boring here. Out here in the woods in California.
Yeah,
a little chilly.
We planted this whole forest here just for production values.
We have the best greens departments because we got that kind of California money. Yeah. Nobody's going to have any money in a second because the stock market's going to destroy the dollar, but oh well. I'm sure it'll work out.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. But your generation is screwed.
Nah, they'll be fine.
Yeah, you're all going to be influencers. It's us again. Did you miss us? Well, I'm still grappling with the whole direct address question. So what are you talking about on music today? Why don't you step up? Come on down stage and be on camera. They're my famous little son.
Film next to a tree.
I'm not a tree. I just play one on TV.
Well, even though I already did one on it, I wanted to do a bit of a retrospective on Bjork because since I talked about her last, I've listened to 6 more of her albums. I've listened to her first 8. I haven't done Utopia and I haven't done Fusora because Utopia is long and I'm lazy, and Fusora is also long and I'm lazy. But basically, I think this gives me a pretty good picture of her discography, both because from what I've heard, Utopia does not really add much to what she's doing overall, and both because for a very long time, since there's a 5-year gap between Utopia and Fusora, those 9 albums were all Bjork fans had. So, with that in mind, I do still really like both of the albums that I listened to back when I last reviewed Bjork, which was Homogenic and Vespertine. I do think they're probably her 3rd and 4th best works, despite most people thinking they're 1 and 2 in really whatever order you prefer. But I think that there are 2 Bjork albums that beat them and that are probably both really incredible albums. The first one, which is my favorite Bjork album, is Post. And the reason Post is my favorite album is because I think that if you look at her career, you can see her
taking ideas she started in post and then running with them for a whole album. Like, she does that for Homogenic, she does that for, honestly, you could even say Vespertine in part comes from parts of like It's Oh So Quiet and Headphones, Cover Me, stuff like that.
I like that song. It's Oh So Quiet.
Yeah, it's a good song.
It's a fun song. Then she gets real loud.
Yeah.
To show you how quiet it is. She's smart like that. Scandinavian, yeah.
And yeah, I just think it's basically like a sampler pack of most of what makes Bjork great. It's completely all over the place in terms of style, and yet still somehow flows amazingly. It's got some of her best songs on it. It's got Army of Me, it's got Hyper Ballad, it's got Isabel, which has been really growing on me recently. I really like that one. And it's just overall, I think, a sum of what makes Bjork great, and definitely what I would introduce somebody to Bjork with. And then the other one, you might be expecting me to say Debut, because that's
People like that.
that's her most popular record, as I recall, and it's
Got
her
her
most
career.
her most, well, no, she already had a career with the Sugar Cube. She was still pretty popular then, but plus she had albums before that.
I forgot she was in the Sugar Cube.
But no, it's not. Because Debut, although it's definitely very consistent and very groovy, at the end of the day, it is just kind of a standard house album. And that's not bad, and I still go back and listen to tracks off it a ton, but like, it's just kind of normal, which is kind of weird to see for Bjork, and actually gives it a place in her discography for being like her only really normal album. But no, it's not Debut. It is Biophilia, which most people think is not one of her best. Most people do not.
That translates to love of life, by the way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for the themes of the album. Most people do not like this album very much, and I do admittedly understand why. She adopts a vocal style from pretty much medulla forward that puts a lot of people off a lot. Like, she gets a lot more throaty with it, and that perturbs a lot of people. But personally, I think it has some of her best songs, the prime examples of which are, I think it's called Universe or something. It's the one about the universe being created, and then there's another one called Crystalline, which I think may be my favorite song by her, because it's got really good vocal harmonies, it's got a good chorus, and it's got a crazy drum break at the end. But basically, I think the reason I like Biophilia so much is it doesn't feel like anything on Biophilia is an idea that she had earlier in her career. Like, it feels like, aside from Medulla, which is admittedly original, although I don't like it very much, I think it's her first, like, really, truly 100% like Bjork original album. And that includes Homogenic and Vespertine, because even though those are very influential, I think that's partially because she pulled a bit of a David Bowie, that she took stuff from scenes that were just starting to emerge and then made it big because she's Bjork. And, you know, she's always scouting out for the best stuff because she's really popular in the music community, because what can you do to hate Bjork? Everybody likes Bjork. Wu-Tang likes Bjork. And that's basically the general gist of it. I think that she's got some really underrated albums, and I think that overall she deserves a spot in like the halls when it comes to most consistent discography, because even when it comes to some of her projects that I don't like Medulla and Volta, I really don't think she's made a bad album.